Hey everyone. So now we're going to talk about three-part tapping and how we can use EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping to sort of transmute limiting beliefs and install new, more empowering beliefs in their place. So limiting beliefs are those old limiting stories that we kind of hold about ourselves and about the world that keep us locked in this sort of small reality. So we have both conscious limiting beliefs as well as subconscious limiting beliefs. And so the conscious ones are the ones that we're aware of, and the subconscious ones are the ones that we are unaware of. Things that were programmed maybe during our childhood, and they're in the back there somewhere. And those are the ones that are even more powerful in our life. These are the ones that really kind of have the stronghold on what we are witnessing out in our reality in our life. So we can do two things. We can do the work to uncover what these subconscious limiting beliefs are, and we can bring them into the conscious. And I recommend that because once you bring them into the conscious and you're aware of them, they already start to lose their power. Okay, so just simply by identifying them, we can support ourselves. So I like to watch out, and usually these are a little bit easier to identify in other people. So as people talk, you will start to hear them just out their limiting beliefs, right? So living here in Asheville, there's a belief that there's not a whole lot of eligible bachelors here. And so you can hear when people talk about it, and I've talked about it too, right? There's no good guys in Asheville. Oh, if you want a guy, you got to import them from somewhere else, right? So you can start to hear people talk about them, and it's good to just sort of start to be aware, right? So you can kind of identify other people's belief, and that will support you in starting to identify your own. I also like to keep an eye out for the word because. So when we state how something is, right, we use the word because. And sometimes after the word because, it's just a fact, right? It's like, it's cold because it's snowing outside or something. And that's fact, but a lot of times we'll use the because as a sort of a setup for our limiting belief, right? And so watch yourself when you're using the word because that might be a tip off of where your limiting belief is. So for example, I might say something like, I'm single because there's no good guys in Asheville. Okay, so there it was. There's no good guys in Asheville. That's a belief that I might want to go in and transform, because guess what? If I keep saying that there's no good guys in Asheville, guess what my reality is? Dun, dun, dun. No good guys in Asheville, right? So yeah, we're going to want to transform that. So once we know what our limiting belief is, even better. But let's say that we don't know, okay? Let's say that we're not sure what the belief is. We just know that we're having an experience, right? And so we can definitely tap on the experience, whatever's coming up, whatever information you have about it and how it's making you feel. We can use that. And sometimes as we're tapping, that belief kind of will bubble up. But even the better is when we actually know what we're going to tap on. So let's say that we are going to just use this example that we're going with, all right? So we'll do it in 3 parts. The first part is the first round, let's say, is going to be negative. The second round is going to be positive. And the third round is going to alternate between negative and positive, okay? And so hopefully you watch the simple tapping video so you kind of know the points. But we're going to start on the setup statement right here. And so it's important to know that what you want your limiting belief to turn into. So if you could wave your magic wand, what would you create in place of this old story? Okay? So, let's use this one. So, even though I don't believe there's any good guys in Asheville, I'm willing to trust that there's at least one for me. And we'll do 3 different versions, however they want to arise, okay? Even though everyone says that there's no good guys in Asheville, I trust life, and I trust my perfect partner and I to be brought together in perfect time. And we'll do one more. Even though the collective story here is that there's no good eligible bachelors in this conscious community of Asheville, I choose to create my own story, that there are plenty of beloveds here to discover. So we did that 3 times, and now we're going to go through the points 3 times, 3 rounds. So start on the head, making kind of big taps. Again, we're sending kind of energy down these energetic pathways of the body, these energetic kind of highways, to just sort of clear stagnancy. A lot of times when we're having these experiences, it's just like a little blip in the system. We just got to clear it out. And in this case, in 3-part tapping, we're sort of breaking up the old neural pathways so that we can create new ones, okay? So then we'd go in for the negative experience. So exactly how it feels. Oh, it feels like I'll never find a beloved here in Asheville. Oh, all the other women have confirmed it. This is the worst place to date. Side of the eye. Oh, I'm so dreading the experience of being single here. Under the eye. I wish I could just move to California. I think I know everybody here in Asheville already. There's like no one else here to discover. It's just so small. Under the mouth, the chin. I feel kind of hopeless and discouraged. All around the chest. Oh, I feel scared that I'm just going to be alone forever. And then under the arm, maybe both sides or maybe just one side, either way. It's important to know you can't really mess this up, okay? So just let your intuition kind of guide you. Don't really worry about it too much, right? Loose guidelines. And then under the arm, we'll create one more. I'm so frustrated at the lack of options here. Okay, and I'll take a nice deep breath. And then the second round is all about what we would want to create in its place, right? Waving the magic wand and what we're turning this into. So, start on the top of the head. We'll just breathe into it and just tune into the inner landscape and our hearts and what we actually really want to create and the experience that we really do want to have. I am loving myself so completely in each moment, and I magnetize people to me. I meet new people every day in Asheville, and lots of beautiful conscious men. Side of the eye. I choose to create my own story. I trust in life. I trust. I trust. I'm enjoying myself in each moment, and I invite and welcome the perfect beloved to enjoy life with me. I know there's at least one perfect, attractive, embodied, beautiful, conscious man here for me. Under the arm. I am ready for love. I welcome it now. I trust it's here. So, whatever's coming through as you're positive, as what you're saying yes to, that's the second round, okay? And then the third round is sort of a combination of the negative and the positive, similar to your setup statement, okay? So this is the third time. Start here. Even though the collective story is that there's no good guys in Asheville, I choose to create my own story and trust that there's at least one awesome one for me. Even though it's scary to imagine being alone forever, I know that's unrealistic. And I trust he's coming. Even though I'm scared I already know everyone in Nashville, I open to the reality that there are so many more people to meet. Even though I'm not sure I want to stay here. I embrace being here now and open myself to new friendships, partnerships, and meeting new people, and the possibility of finding my perfect partner here. Okay, so there it is, okay? We made it through the entire process using this kind of fun example. That's also a little bit true for me. And so remember that you're doing 3 times on the karate chop point as you say your setup statement, which is even though the negative story, and then it follows by the positive. And then you do 3 rounds of tapping through the points. First round is the negative, just saying how you feel. The second round is waving your magic wand. What is the positive that you're creating in its place? And the third time, you're doing the even though, the negative, and then you're moving into the positive, okay? So I hope you have some fun with this, that you start to incorporate it in your life. Be on the lookout for those limiting beliefs. And when you identify one, then definitely spend some time tapping on it, and I'd love to hear how it goes. And remember that if you're having the experience of a negative emotion, maybe you don't know what or you haven't identified the limiting belief, you're just having an experience, the sensations in your body, maybe pain in the body, or even a craving, you can always use your simple tapping, which will be linked in another video, okay? Have fun with this. I'm so glad that you guys have this tool to use in your life on your own when you need it.